I think the marketplace nowadays in the modern world is such an incredible place. Like once we just get some really good idea out, the marketplace will take care of the rest.
The marketplace will take care of it, as has been demonstrated in the raw food. The raw food revolution has not been nutritionists like you and me promoting it. I think maybe, I would like to think that we maybe help, but I think that the raw food revolution has taken off on its own because people put their dog on a raw food diet, or they start eating well themselves, and they can feel and they can see the difference. And when they see the difference, they tell their friends, and so you get this exponential rise in the quality of the nutrition to ourselves and to our dogs. I'm primarily talking about dogs because I work with dogs.
Yeah, and I think it's so cool that nowadays people in general have more money and more wealth than ever. If you get the good idea out, then like it's gonna happen. I'm really looking forward to there being like really expensive, really high quality dog foods, because somebody is gonna buy them if we just get the word out.
I think quality is very important. We had this conversation yesterday morning. It was a wonderful conversation. You know, the sun was rising and we were there talking about it's so important because quality then drives a quality economy, which allows even more quality of the nutrients and helps society and what have you. I think the quality thing is a very important thing to chase, which is why I think I like to work and be associated with companies which are striving for quality. That's very important to me.
Yeah, exactly. For me also, when I started my career like over 10 years ago, I was really cautious about the idea of working with some companies, because companies back then, like in the human nutrition space, they didn't have really good intentions. They had white sugar and white flour in their mind and artificial fats and things like that. So, but nowadays I realized that if you want to create miracles and create new phenomena in the market, you have to work with the demand and with the supply. And the supply side, you always need the industry so that you can even arrange things like this where we can actually meet each other.
Yeah.
It's like every time you buy something better, the money goes to that better industry, which will use that money to spread the message and sometimes sponsor events like this. And so it's like you feed, when you buy something better, you feed the whole ecosystem that creates those miracles in the future.
It's like a Trojan horse. The way to change an industry is to actually go within the industry and then start sowing seeds within that industry. And I think that is the way to improve industries.
And I think we're in the perfect place right now, whether we're talking about the human nutrition space or the pet food space. We're in the place where we don't have to wait anymore. We can already work with the really good-hearted players who have really good intentions and who already have really good knowledge, and we can just support them. Like we don't even really have to start anything anymore because it's all there.
I think the fire is lit. And we just need to fan the flames, and I'm really comfortable with that. You know, fanning the flames of great nutrition. People are understanding the nutrition ideas, and that's an exciting place to be.
Yeah, and it's so much fun to spread the kind of information that actually helps people and their pets.
Yeah,
because you just get so much gratitude from people.
The feedback is superb. The feedback is the most gratifying thing, I think.
Yeah, and I can see that when you do your lectures, I can see that you love it so much because you know that you're making a really positive impact, and you can feel all the support that and the gratitude you've already gathered.
And it's simple. The results are astounding. Yeah, I had somebody told me at college that you could do this much good. You could change lives and cure disease just by getting the diet right. I would have been astounded and delighted. It took me, 10, 20 years to really understand that space. And the feedback you get from people is really wonderful.
Yeah. How do you see this going like 10 years from now?
More of the same. More conferences, more conversations like this, more companies with a greater share of the food market, less high carbohydrate kibble food, I hope, because I don't think it's the healthiest way. It's a way of feeding, but it's not the healthiest way of feeding, and I see the future as being much more species appropriate, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the really good ideas and the best ideas and the healthiest, most holistic, natural ideas, like really winning big time in the marketplace. I think that's what we'll see in the next, I think already 5 years in pretty much all the spaces. Of course, there is a backlash. Like for example, Google doesn't index those pages anymore, and like of course the medical industry always does what they do. But now it's more about what's helping people, because people will share the good things in whatever channels you let them.
I think people want to be healthy. They want to have healthy animals, and if they see a reasonably simple way of doing that they can take control of at home, and that there are people who can facilitate that, I think that's a wonderful thing.
And then also the companies taking care of the logistics and making it really easy and accessible.
Yeah.
Not like 10 years ago, but like just buy this thing and that's it. Or buy these few things and it's all taken care of. Yeah, and also I'm really looking forward to there being more of the really good science.
I think more studies, they're not going to change the outcomes, they are just going to change more minds, and they're going to move some of the vets and some of the industry. It's going to make them it's going to make it easier for them to come over to what many raw feeding clients are already seeing just through trial with their dogs. The science is important, but I think that the feeding dogs real species appropriate food is more important.
I think you said at some point that in this industry now the raw food thing is such a big phenomenon that even the really big companies are internally at least talking about it.
I think so. I think that my gut and certain conversations with academics and with the big conventional kibble companies is that they have got a very sharp eye on the raw food and the fresh food market.
I think fresh food, that's a good word. Like that's our food should be fresh.
It is fresh, but fresh is what they're using in the States to mean very lightly cooked to differentiate it from raw.
Okay.
So fresh kind of has been given a new meaning the lightly cooked food. I mean, raw is obviously fresh, and if you like, you can call them both fresh because they are both fresh. Because they're not. We've been listening today to a French, the University of Paris, talking about ultra processed food. Ultra processed food is recognized as being this food which is it is nutrition which is derived from food, which I think is a wonderful definition, and it's horrifying. But there is now a definition of ultra processed food, and the idea that we should feed dogs on ultra processed food day after day exclusively for life, which is what our kibble food companies would want us to do, I find really difficult to comprehend.
Yeah, now, luckily now it's no longer the only option out there, and the other option is getting easier and easier to understand and to implement. Yeah, I think that was good stuff, so I think we should go back to maybe eating some fresh food.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay.